Today we are going to look into something that is known as SDLC. SDLC refers to the development of a software for a system. Hi guys, welcome to yet another video, an interesting video of the testing class. But before we begin, if you love watching tech videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon and don't miss an update. For now, without further delay, let's take a look at the agenda of the session. The first heading is what is SDLC. To begin, do we apply the SDLC cycle? The reason to apply SDLC life cycle in development of a software is because it provides a team with a developed life cycle format or a framework to build a software from scratch. It provides better control over each development phase of the software designing, where the coding is to be done, what about the error in the development and different particular points. It also improves client interaction with the multiple development phases of the software. चलो मान लेते हैं कि आप एक फूड शॉप ओपन करने जा रहे हो, तो आपको किस किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी। इसके लिए आप एक फॉर्मल डॉक्यूमेंट बनाते हो जिसमें आप डिटेल्स मेंशन करते हो, जैसे कि आपको शॉप और उसकी लोकेशन, नंबर ऑफ कुक नीडेड, नंबर ऑफ चेयर एंड टेबल, रॉ फूड आइटम जो भी आपको चाहिए होता है वो आप मेंशन करते हो। तो ये रॉ डॉक्यूमेंट ही आपका फॉर्मल डॉक्यूमेंट रहता है। अब आप इसको प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंट कर लेते हो। दिस इज लाइक रिक्वायरमेंट एनालिसिस। एंड उसके बाद आप डिज़ाइन के बारे में सोचते हो कि मेन्यू में क्या क्या होना चाहिए और फूड कैसा दिखना चाहिए। इसके बाद आप फूड बनाना स्टार्ट कर देते हो। फिर उसके बाद क्या, आप कुछ लोगों को बुलाकर उनसे टेस्ट करवाते हो, कि उनसे टेस्ट करने के लिए बोलते हो, जिससे कि आपको फीडबैक मिल सके। अगर उसमें कुछ इश्यूज होते हैं तो आप उसको मॉडिफाई करवाते हो। यही प्रोसेस फिर से आप रिपीट करते हो और लास्ट में जब सब कुछ सही होने पर आप लॉन्च कर देते हो। ऐसा ही कुछ SDLC है। Now let's move on the next heading, that is different phases that involve the development of a software. The SDLC lifecycle is divided into multiple steps to provide a better end product according to the client request, which are planning and requirement analysis. At this step, the planning and the requirement of the software is discussed with the client. Moving on with defining the requirement according to the planned scenario, we will define certain terms for development of the software containing with designing the software, coding or implementation, the physical point of the software. Moving on to the next phase, that is testing phase, where different scenarios are used to test overall functioning of a software. As for the last step, we have deployment and maintenance, where the developed software is deployed. Phase is planning and requirement analysis. Planning is the most important step for software development. The developer performs the requirement analysis for the software. Software development data is obtained from the client, service and information which are used for consumer or sales team. Moving on, we have the second stage, that is defining requirement. With the completion of planning step, the next step is to present the software requirement and document to the client and the stakeholder for verification if they are satisfied with the planned scenario. The task of defining requirement is performed by the software requirement specification document, is also known as SRS document, which include all the data and information related to the product being developed. Moving on, we have the third step, that is designing the software. In this step, SRS document is used by the developer to use the most optimized architecture for the development of the software. The development architecture is using the document also known as design document specification, that is DDS, which is shared with the analyst and the stakeholder to check multiple attributes of software. Moving on, let's take a look at the fourth step of SDLC, that is development software. Using the design outcome from the previous step, the developer begin the coding implementation, which is in accordance with the architecture designed by the developer. Programming tools such as interpreter, compiler, debugger are used to design the best and the most organized software design. Java, C. Now let's move on the next stage, that is software testing. In this stage, the developed software is tested with multiple test cases and different scenarios to ensure proper execution of the functions included in the software. With respect to in this stage, the developed software is tested with multiple test cases and different scenarios to ensure proper execution of all the functions included in the software. Let's move on the last heading of the phase of SDLC, that is deployment and maintenance of the software. After completion of the testing phase, the last step is to deploy the complete product in the market, which is to be used by the user and check for any issues that may arise using that. With regard to the maintenance of the software, there are generally three formats to be used. The first one is known as upgrade, that is upgrading the application to the latest system version. Then we have bug fixing, that is removing error or any bugs that may arise during the execution of the software. As for the last, we have enhanced, that means installation of a new feature for the existing product. With this, we are completed with multiple steps involved in the SDLC processing. Now let's move on to the next heading, that is model used in SDLC. The SDLC model are applied because they provide a pre-designed model for the developer to use. Let's take a look at multiple model that SDLC applies. The first one is waterfall model, incremental model, iterative model, spiral model, V model, and the last is agile model. There are some there are some of the most generally used model in SDLC. But the thing is, why do we apply these model in SDLC? Because they provide a base for planning software product for multiple attributes. It is also provide a pre-applied framework to the new software product, as well as it decreases the chances of bug and error coming in the software. With this, we are completed with the all phases or all heading in the session of the SDLC life cycle. If you have any query regarding the topic, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.